Howdy doody, it's your boy Loudy, and welcome back to a brand new video. And in today's video, I brought a guest with me. Say hi. Yeah, I've Condieflys with me. If you don't know who he is, his name is Condieflys, twitch.tv/Condieflys. Go give him a follow. He deserves it. He's a sexy Scottishman, as you can clearly see. So yeah, guys, today we're going to be doing a video with Condieflys here, and we're going to be rating everything in Season 14 so far. So Season 14 has been out for 2 weeks now. We're going to rate the legends as well as the guns. So we're going to see what Connie's thought process is on all these weapons and what mine is, and see if we can come to agreement on things and see if things do not have an agreement. So yeah, guys, we're gonna start with the weapons today. We're gonna have these set up now. You can see all the weapons down here. Do you want to go in order, or do you want to go by class, like light ammo first, or just go in order?
Go through them in order.
In order. All right. Yep. Perfect. 30
paper. It sounds really good. In practice, I don't think it's that good. I'm giving a D. I don't want one. I'll use it if it's the only thing on the ground, but I will never choose to pick one up.
See, when the season dropped, I was always thinking it would be a great gun because it gave it a skull piercer. So I thought this thing would become lethal, but you still need to hit your shots with it, and it's super hard to do that.
Yeah.
It's just basically a long-range wingman. Yeah, it's just a long-range wingman. Honestly, I do agree. I'll put 30-30 in D tier for that, honestly. The car, oh god, I'm not gonna lie, this season I haven't really been using it that much. If I was using it, I'll put it S tier personally because I do love it, but I have to put a B tier recently. I've been using a lot more weapons this season, and it's kind of been overpowered for me.
I would agree. I think the really strong thing about that gun is the diversity of attachments and ammo. It's very good in a team where, you know, we've all been in those situations end game where you're like desperately searching boxes for any light ammo or heavy ammo. It's nice that you can switch up on this one. So I think that helps it, but there are other S.
Yeah, this season is fair. Yeah, this season has brought back some weapons that everyone has loved, so the car kind of is not getting as much love anymore, especially when there's no laser sight on it, even though it has a very good hip fire accuracy. All right, yeah. Now we have the alternator. This one is kind of a tough one for me. A lot of people say on controller, this thing's a beast. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all.
I have seen I've seen friends use it very, very, very well. I don't hate it by any means. I would pick a alternator over an R9. But oh yeah. But I think C is a fair place to put it.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Like it's a good weapon. Like if you're stuck with a shotgun and then you have to pick up an SMG and you don't have an R9 or a car or even a Volt, I'll take the alternator. It's a good weapon. It's a strong weapon, but I just can't get used to it. If it brought back disruptor rounds, then you know I'll abuse that. I'll abuse that then. All right, our first heirloom weapon, the bow check. Honestly, yeah, if you can aim at this thing, because it's when it first released bow check, so it's got the fast pullback, it's got 70 damage, that's over 120 to the head. I've got to go A with this. It'll probably be S tier if it came with more ammo though. It has 80 arrows, which is still a lot, but if it had more, it'd be S tier for me personally. Yeah,
it's very OP in the right hands, but I'd rather have a gun than you know. I'm not trying to be an archer, you know. So yeah, I think A is a good place for it.
Of having a gun, the charge rifle comes.
Baby.
All right, go on, explain yourself.
It is free KP. It's free Evo shield. The charge rifle is borderline cheating.
If you don't know why he's saying this, today we managed to get Condieflys to diamond. Oh, we had one fucking job. In the open, here, Connie, turn around.
Yeah, she's on the hill.
Yo, see them, you can see them.
Dude, they're healing in here.
On Kings Canyon, this thing's fucking lethal. Easy third parties just from range. Easy evos. I have to admit, I do agree with S.
You only need 2 attachments and you're set, right? You get a stock and a scope, you're set. So you don't have to spend time finding a mag and a barrel stabilizer like with other snipers. It's hit scan. So it's easy to land your shots, even at insane distances. And if you're tracking your targets well, you do a lot of damage with it. People are scared of it. People will back up when they start getting hit. Sometimes you can hit someone for 3 damage and they get so scared and they run away. You know, it is the weapon that, you know, if I have a purple shield and my teammates got blue, I'm gonna take your blue shield because I'm gonna level that to purple. It is free evo for your team. You can third party at very safe distances and get KP. For ranked, I mean, it's scummy. Don't get me wrong. It is scummy, but it works. I didn't make the game, and I'm never going to judge someone for using a charge rifle. S tier. Phenomenal gun.
Personally, yes, I have to admit, long ranges, and for a map like Kings Canyon, which is what we're on right now, is amazing. Like, easy, people will back up from it, but the issue is, if you're left with it in final zone, you are forced to use one gun and hope to God you can hit your shots with it.
Although, charge rifle's not bad up close if you're,
accurate, yeah. If you're good at, like, tracking, it's a good weapon, because like you said, it's hit scan, so it'll be easy to use.
Kind of, if you get into a really close range and you just have to switch weapons, like, I've had fights where I've won because I switched to charge rifle and finished someone off. But it's not ideal, obviously. Yes, it's a sniper. You know, final circle, I'm usually going to try and swap to a shotgun or something.
Yeah, final circle with the charge rifle and all that, you're going to be going up against SMGs, Mastiffs, fucking PKs.
Frankly, once your team's got full purple shield, or even if you manage to push it to a red, I would just be switching it at that point, to be fair. But, yeah, it's still S tier for me.
Devotion. Honestly, I haven't used this season. I personally would put it E. It's a good ass LMG, but I've not used it at all this season because it's in the crafter. So
I haven't touched it.
I literally haven't touched.
Used one myself. I've not even seen one on any death box of anybody I've killed.
I have to see one, yeah, on the floor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. As we said, like if you're playing Rampart and the turbocharger and an energy mag is in rotation, because that happens a lot. Maybe the Rampart will have a field day, but if you're playing Vantage or fucking Ash or even Bangalore, you're not gonna pick this up. There's so many better weapons.
So I would. There's no way I'm spending my crafting on it. No way.
When you can craft bats, fucking like you can craft yourself your armor up if you need to. There's no point. There's no point in getting it.
Point.
Eva 8. Personally, okay, I know Condi is gonna say S tier for this. Personally, I put a top tier A. I wouldn't go S tier with it.
With you, I think A tier is fine.
I wouldn't put it S tier for the main reason of, yes, it shoots super fast with a purple bolt, but that's the reason. It shoots so fast, you don't have time to correct your shot. Like a lot of,
if you get into a bad rhythm, it's hard to correct.
Like I back when the Eva 8, before it got nerfed, back in, I think it was, what was it, like season 10, season 11, before it got nerfed into the ground. It had a good rhythm to it, so you were able to line up the shot and let it flow with it. But now it shoots so fast, it's so incredibly hard to do that. I just feel like I can't do it, and I'm better off like picking up again another weapon, like using an SMG or an assault rifle. If I had the,
I actually think that I might put it in S tier, but the reason I wouldn't put it in S tier is because of double tap. I think double tap trigger on the Eva is it shouldn't be allowed. It's like, not because it's good. It just changes the gun so fundamentally. I'll never touch it. I will never put a double tap on an Eva.
It just feels weird.
If I'm used to the full auto fire of an Eva, and the double tap fucks up the rate of fire so much.
Yeah, and fucks up your rhythm even more. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of double tap anyway, but I will not put one on the Eva. I think it's L attachment.
Next, the flatline. Honestly, this season I haven't been using it because of 301, but when I do pick it up, I do enjoy it. So I would have to put it in B tier above the car. Personally, for me, like the recoil is easy to control. Ever since I did the 30-day no aim assist, it was easy to control. After that, I felt like I could actually hit my shots with it 3 times or 2 times. Before then, I was not able to. I was only able to do single fire and use HCOG on it. But recently, I have been liking it, but there's, again, better weapon. There's a better weapon known as the 301 out there, so why the fuck use this? Like, let's be honest.
I honestly, in my games, I don't see a difference. I'll pick up either. I think they're both very, very good ARs, and I'm happy using both. I think B is fair. It's not gonna, if you're, yeah, I mean, it doesn't give you an advantage over anyone else, but it's just a good solid AR. I like both, but I've been using flatline a lot. The critical thing this season was the hipfire nerf.
Oh yeah, I forgot assault
Both the
rifles.
flatline
Yeah,
and R3.
the flatline.
A couple
and
seasons
assault
ago,
rifles.
the flatline hipfire was crazy.
Yeah, wasn't it like a 30-meter
Season
thing where you were
12 or something?
Yeah, 30-meter range where you could hit fire that and like all bullets would land.
It was unbelievable, and it needed to be toned down a little bit, but that hipfire nerf hurt it a lot. But it's a solid. I think B's fair. It's a solid AR. They are.
And also with the whole, and also one thing I have to throw in, also with the leaks and stuff of the pay-to-win flatline sin probably coming this season. We don't know if it actually is. If that comes this season, guarantee you every single person in the lobby will be using a flatline.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I hope so.
That'll be great to see. That'll be great to see. All right, now next the G7. Honestly, I've got to go right now. Once I put all the weapons in, I'll probably change the G7 because I'm a bit iffy about this. I want to put it A tier, but I at the same time don't, because I cannot use this thing with double trap trigger or anything past at 3 times. Like if I have it like at 2 times on it, I feel like I can beam with it. But if I go anything past, I feel like the recoil is too much for me, and I just can't use it. It's a strong weapon, don't get me wrong, but I just can't use it.
I'm leaning more C tier, but I would be happy to compromise B as long as it's below the flatlining car.
You say there.
I'd be happy to compromise there. I personally put a C, but I think it's better than the 30-30, but I don't like these single fire like rifles like that. I'm not a fan of them overall. G7's better than the 30-30, but I still don't like it. When it was care pack, I did like it. Now that it's not care pack, I like it less.
Havoc. The next is the Havoc, Condi. Oh God. This is a very love-hate weapon.
We almost need a non-turbo and a turbo Havoc.
Yeah.
You know?
Turbo Havoc.
I'm putting A tier.
Honestly, I agree. Turbo Havoc, I put A tier. Like I wouldn't put it above the Eva though. Where would I put it? If this was Turbo Havoc, I'd probably put it like between the bow, because I think I would rather have a mid to short range like the Havoc with the turbocharger than a bow for close range, etc. So honestly, turbocharger Havoc is lethal. That thing's powerful. The only time I would like say no to it is if I already have a decked out weapon. If I have like a 301 that has like a gray mag and then like a gray stock, I'll take the Havoc because it has a turbocharger with it. I'll gladly take that any day.
Yeah.
Normal Havoc, unless it's on the ground, it's the first weapon I pick up, I ain't touching it. I'll take the energy ammo though, but I ain't touching the gun. Okay, now, next is the Hemlock. I like the gun.
D.
Honestly, it's not...
E.
You would go E? You think the 30-30 is better than the Hemlock?
F.
Okay, Jesus. Okay, that changed quickly.
F tier. You listen, again, feel free to disagree. For me, F tier. Hate it. Don't like it.
I feel if you can land your shots is good, but because it's a burst weapon in a game that's primarily, you know, full auto weapons, it's hard to use properly. If this was season 0 Hemlock, like with the no rate of fire cap, this shit would literally be up here for me. Like I don't know if you remember that famous clip from Shroud back in season 0 where he literally mowed down 3 people just with the Hemlock.
Dude, that was insane.
Saber. Since it's nerf, I wouldn't put it in S.
Absolutely not. Honestly, I'm not even gonna say A. I'm gonna say B.
Yeah, honestly, if I had a bow check and a Kraber, I'd take the bow.
Kraber just doesn't have the potential to one-hit kill like it used to. And honestly, it's you're picking up a sniper with 12 bullets, a very slow rate of fire, a very slow reload. It's just before it was like, okay, you can instantly turn a fight around by landing a nice headshot and immediately downing someone. Yes, you can still do a chunk of damage with it, but
all right, Condi.
No, I agree. F. It literally, it's in the name. L star.
Bow.
Are we assuming fully attached, like full attachments?
I mean, if you, I would go probably off of 2 things: off you getting on the ground at the start, and late game.
I mean, late game, with a kitted out Lombo, I'm very happy. Early game with a Lombo with nothing, I'm less happy. You know what I'm saying?
You think it would be better? You think it's better than the 30-30? Because I honestly, personally, do think it is. The hit fire on this thing is mad.
I see whack it and see.
You say whack it and see. You would say better than the alternator though. You would say better than the alternator. You say
no, I'd say
below it.
Worse than alternator.
Okay. I'm really liking this.
I do like the gold Lombo. If you get a gold Lombo from Caustic, I'm running that shit. That's great.
Yeah, I wouldn't run the 4 to 10 on it though, because I don't know why, it just feels clunky to me. I'd probably pop on it. Yeah, I'd probably pop on it 2 to 4 or 3 times. But I wouldn't run I wouldn't run a 4 to 10 digi.
A B for the Mastiff, surely.
Well, would you go top B or
Kraber? TBH.
Next.
Mozam? E, bro. I know it has hammer points. I still don't like it. I still don't want to use it. Especially given that the Peacekeeper's as consistent and as good as it always has been. And the Eva is so good now. It's just the worst shotgun. Just hands down, it's the worst shotgun right now.
I have to agree. Even though we all know our favorite angry boy, Jeff Rooney, he loves the Mozam. Unless you have like your team focusing one guy and you manage to land that shot, a Mozam is not a reliable weapon to use in a fight. P2020, honestly, it's a good gun, but I wouldn't put it above Mozam. Like if you had
outclassed.
Yeah, if you had a choice between a Mozam and a P2020 off drop, what would you take?
I'd take the Mozam.
Yeah. Like late game, you wouldn't even have these, so there's no point in considering them. Like if like, there's no point in considering late game because you're never gonna have them. PK.
Yeah. C.
That's coming out of left field. What the fuck? I was expecting an A for you or an S.
I mean, again, feel free to disagree with me, and that's fine. If you want to put it somewhere else, put it somewhere else. But for me, again, Mastiff is better. Eva is better. PK is great. I'll pick up a PK start of the game. You know, I'd rather have a PK than a Mozam. And the PK is the consistent. It's as good as it was. You do big burst damage. It's fantastic if someone's sitting on a door and you can get that charged shot right in their face. Great. Love the PK for that. But I will always drop it and swap it for an Eva now. And I just think it's not outstanding, but it's not terrible. Middle of the pack C.
Yeah, honestly, like considering now recently, I don't know if everyone else has been experiencing it, but recently I just cannot land my PK shots, so I'm hitting constant 8. At least with the Eva 8, I can hit like 18, so I can do a little bit more damage if I miss.
But if you're landing lines with the Eva, you're firing a hell of a lot quicker that second shot than the PK. I can't tell you how many times I've got killed by the PK because I pull it out and my character does like some weird like unfolding, like the PK's folded up in my pocket and I have to unfold it, and then like while I'm faffing about trying to get the gun out, I'm getting shot. I'm not having it. C.
Yeah, weirdly I do agree, but I would actually put a B, low tier B personally, because again, like I don't think it's not as bad as the alternator, and it's not as good as the G7. Like
D tier for me.
You go Prowler. Would you say better than 30-30?
Yeah.
Okay, I do kind of have to disagree with you. As a controller player, this is kind of this part coming out. The Prowler is a fucking nasty weapon in a controller's hands, and now that it has laser sight and has a fixed hip fire, I honestly think this thing outclasses a lot of these weapons.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think controller player, it's a different.
Yeah, in my hand, like again, PC players could do it as well. Like they can beam with this hip fire, but in controller players' hands, the Prowler is nutty. It is so strong. I love it. I love it to bits. If I ever get the full fucking setup attachments. If it brought back select fire with full auto, dude, we'll be having a field day.
Prowler that was different. Yeah.
Remember that when that was in goddamn care pack. Ooh.
Yep. You grab it from the care pack, you put it in full auto, and you just melt people.
Oh, I want that. 301, Condi. Here we get to the good weapons. The 301.
I have to say B. Put it with a flatline. It's no better or worse than the flatline, in my opinion. The only difference I would say is, for me personally, if I'm running an R301, I'm gonna probably prefer a 3 times to a 2 times. And if I'm running the flatline, I'm probably gonna prefer a 2 times. But I can use both comfortably. But I would say for me the R3 I favor slightly longer range optics. But to me they're interchangeable. They're both ARs. They're both solid. Literally it doesn't matter to me which one I've got. I've got one or the other. They're the same to me.
For me, like, again, I do kind of agree. I would kind of go B or A tier with this. But the 301, as we all know, is like a noob-friendly weapon. It's like the ACR of Apex, so you can just pick it up and be able to use it. Don't have to worry about recoil control. You just shoot it, and you're having a good time. Get a purple barrel on that. You don't gotta, bro. You don't have to look at the screen. Just fucking aim in the direction of an enemy, and it'll probably hit him.
Fire change, which again, that was like my go-to last season. I've got a shotgun and an R3. You know, I put a couple blasts into some of the shotguns, switch to the R3 and hip fire them down. Less easy to do that now, but still, it's a very solid gun. Still, very, very solid. But now, it's definitely more in its intended range. Same with the flatline, where it's great at like mid to long, but not great at like close to mid fighting. Which, to be fair, that's where you should be using an SMG anyway. So I actually think the hipfire nerf is good because it makes ARs kind of fit to their actual intended use a bit more. But yeah, there we go. I still think it's A. It's a very good gun. I would not say no to one.
Well, speaking of SMGs and the 301's counterpart, we have the R99. Where would you put this, Condi?
So, controversial take here. Don't like the R9. Don't like the R9 one bit. I'm gonna say D tier because I do think it's better than a Mozam and a P20. I definitely think it's better than a 3030 and a Devo for sure. But I would pick an alternator. I'd pick a Prowler over it. Don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I can use it. I just hate how fast it bursts through its clip. I don't like the rate of fire on it. I never have.
Honestly, I feel like the barrel, like the changing it to a laser sight, kind of fucked it for me as well. Like if this had barrel stabilizer, I'd be putting this up here. I don't care what anyone says. This is going in A tier. But because it's got a laser sight now, it makes me want to hip fire more. But I do better when I aim, and it feels weird to, you know, aim and I have that laser accuracy with it when you have a barrel on it. So personally, I put it C tier, but not better than anything that it's above right now. It's just mid. It's basically a mid weapon right now. First we have is the Ori 45.
The what?
The Ori 45.
The what?
Shut up, Condi.
I'm sorry, I don't know what gun that is.
The RE45.
I've never heard of that gun before. Is that in the game? The Devotion. Is that a gun in the game? I've not seen a single RE45.
That is true. Although, if I'm honest, if I had to pick one, I'd pick the Ori because it comes with a hammer point over the Devotion. Also, I don't know if you've seen it, but the Rampage was next, not the Ori, and I've just decided to make a new tier for it and just go away.
Go away. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Ori, haven't seen it this season because it's a crafter. I've seen people that pick it up and think of it as a pocket, like 301 with a better, like, flesh damage. But you're just better off picking up a 301, honestly, at that point. If you have fully kitted Ori, you're better off picking up a 301. You have more diversity with that than an Ori.
Even last season when it was ground loot, like, I'll pick it up early game and use it if it's there. And I don't think it's a bad gun. I don't understand why they put it in crafter. It's such a weird move.
But yeah, Ori, not a good weapon. Better than Devotion, but I pick up. I wouldn't. I haven't seen it, so
yeah,
it's there.
Agreed.
Sentinel, I put it top D tier.
Yeah,
better. It's
sure.
Honestly better than the 3030. It actually is okay hipfire wise. I wouldn't put anything above a 3 times on it personally, so I kind of use that as like a mid to like semi-mid long range. And yeah, that's it really. There's nothing really to say. The Spitfire, now a light weapon. Weirdly, I like this weapon. You put it, would you say better than the Sentinel?
Yeah, I'd say better than Sentinel, but yeah, I hate the Spitfire. I hate it. I hated it before when it was heavy, although I did use it when it was a heavy from time to time. I don't know what it is this season. Hate it. Can't get along with it. Hate it.
Personally to me, I don't see, like, I don't know why. I know they changed it to light ammo because of like loot diversity. They want to spread the loot pool and stuff, but it's a weird change. And even at that, when you pick up a Spitfire, you don't expect to go pick up a light mag for it. And something about it to me, like the reason why I think it's good is I feel like the hipfire has changed for it. I know the hipfire for the LMGs and stuff were really good for a while. I'm pretty sure the Spitfire is still the same. But honestly, like, I don't use it as much, but I would put it like, I would actually genuinely put it mid C tier. Like, it's better than the longbow, better than the R9. Like, if I had this, I'd pick it up in early game over an R9. But yeah, honestly, I understand where you're going with the D tier though.
Triple, I would have to say D though as well.
Yeah, I haven't used this thing at all. I loved this last season because it was literally a shotgun and a sniper rifle and you could farm damage with it, but I haven't used it since. Oh, hit my mic. I haven't used it since. For the Volt, I put it A tier. Honestly, right now, like while we're like trying to wrap like this, like go weapons up fast, I put the Volt A tier. It's a strong weapon since it come back, but I just don't like a laser sight on it. It just feels like the weapon is more shit.
Can we move Eva to S tier for putting the
honestly, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that right now. Yeah. I'd probably actually do this. I'll probably move Turbo Havoc down a bit and put the bow check up a bit more.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Wingman, personally, for me, I'm in love with this thing with the skull piercer back. I'll actually genuinely put it above there. Do you know what? Actually, I'm putting it fucking top tier, S tier. I'm in love with this weapon. All right, Condi, are you happy with what you see here today on this list? You actually like this list? I'm gonna take
I think it's a good balance.